Return to Cutter Gap. The movie opens with sweeping shots of the Smoky Mountains. Christy Huddleston, now older and more confident, returns to Cutter Gap as a teacher. She reflects on her past struggles and victories in a letter to her parents. The schoolhouse stands strong, though the community still faces hardships. The children rush to greet her with joy. Christy feels at home again, but new trials loom. A community in change. Cutter Gap is no longer the same isolated place Christy once knew. Railroad companies want to expand nearby, threatening the mountains' way of life. Some villagers are hopeful for progress, while others fear losing traditions. Christy is caught in the middle, unsure which side to support. David Grantland, now more mature, urges caution. Dr. Neil McNeil worries about outsiders bringing disease. Old wounds resurface. The villagers still hold grudges from past feuds. A long-standing family rivalry threatens to boil over again. Christy tries to teach forgiveness in her classroom, but the children mirror the bitterness of their parents. She wonders if true peace can ever be taught. Miss Alice encourages her to lean on faith for guidance. A new arrival, a young outsider named Samuel, arrives, claiming to be a teacher in training. He admires Christy's work and offers to help at the school. The children are fascinated by his city manners, but his methods clash with Christy's simple heart-first teaching style. David sees him as a rival for Christy's attention. Tensions quietly begin to grow. The railroad debate. Town leaders gather to debate the railroad expansion. Half the community wants prosperity, jobs, and trade. The other half fears exploitation, pollution, and loss of heritage. Christy listens, torn between both perspectives. Samuel sides with the railroad, seeing progress as inevitable. Dr. McNeil fiercely opposes it, defending the land and its people. A dangerous accident during construction near the mountain pass. An explosion injures several workers. Christy and Dr. McNeil rush to treat the wounded. She sees firsthand the risks that a progress brings. Samuel insists accidents are part of building a better future, but Christy notices how fear spreads among the villagers. Her heart grows heavier with uncertainty. Matters of the heart. David finally confesses his lingering feelings for Christy, but she still senses his faith struggles beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Dr. McNeil grows closer to her as they work side by side. Samuel flirts with her openly, further complicating things. Christy prays for clarity, but finds no easy answer. Love, like faith, is full of trials. A child in peril. One of Christy's brightest students, Fairlight's daughter, falls gravely ill. The community panics, believing it's a curse tied to the railroad. Dr. McNeil diagnoses a rare fever, requiring immediate care. Christy stays by the child's bedside, praying all night. The child recovers slowly, restoring some hope. Christy is reminded of her true calling, to serve. Seeds of division. The railroad company sends more men, forcing their way into Cutter Gap. Families begin to take sides, splitting the once close community. Some accuse Christy of siding with the outsiders because of Samuel. Others think she is against them because of Dr. McNeil. Christy feels her presence is causing harm instead of good. She considers leaving once again. Alice's wisdom. Miss Alice gently counsels Christy at the mission house. She reminds her that faith is not about pleasing people. Christy must follow truth even when misunderstood. Alice shares a story of her own past mistakes. Christy realizes she's been trying to solve everything on her own. She renews her trust in God's guidance. A festival of peace. Christy organizes a school festival to unite the community. Children perform songs, dances, and recite verses of hope. For one night, laughter returns to Cutter Gap. David delivers a sermon on reconciliation. Dr. McNeil praises the villagers for their resilience. Even Samuel admits the mountains have changed his heart. The railroad escalates. The company announces forced land seizures, enraging the community. Villagers plan to fight back violently. Christy begs them to seek another way, but tempers flare. Dr. McNeil warns that bloodshed will only bring sorrow. Samuel struggles with guilt, having supported the railroad at first. The mountains tremble with unrest. Confrontation at the pass. Armed villagers block the railroad workers at the mountain pass. Christy runs into the middle, pleading for peace. A standoff begins with dynamite threatening to explode. David prays aloud for calm, steadying some hearts. Dr. McNeil physically disarms the dynamite. In the chaos, Samuel sacrifices himself to save a child. The aftershock Samuel's death shocks Cutter Gap into silence. The villagers realize the true cost of division and violence. The railroad withdraws temporarily, reconsidering their plans. Christy mourns Samuel but sees his redemption in his final act. The community begins to slowly heal. Forgiveness finally takes root. A new unity the townsfolk gather for a service in Samuel's memory. Christy leads the children in a hymn of hope. David speaks on grace and second chances. Dr. McNeil tends to the injured, humbled by the day's events. The villagers agree to negotiate with the railroad peacefully. A fragile but real unity emerges. Christy's choice David again asks Christy to marry him, but she admits her heart leans toward Dr. McNeil's steadfast care. David accepts with grace, finally finding peace in his calling. Christy and Neil share a quiet moment under the stars. He admits he's always admired her courage. Their bond deepens. The railroad resolution, the railroad agrees to reroute construction away from Cutter Gap. The land and heritage are preserved while still allowing progress nearby. The community rejoices, proud of their stand for peace. Christy is honored for uniting both sides. Dr. McNeil praises her as the true heart of Cutter Gap. Miss Alice quietly thanks God for the victory. Farewell, and Promise Christy writes another letter home, reflecting on all she's learned. She once came as a girl searching for purpose. Now she feels like a woman rooted in faith. Her letter speaks of love, loss, and God's providence. She vows to remain in Cutter Gap no matter the trials. Her mission is far from over. Closing scene, the children run across the schoolyard laughing freely. Christy rings the school bell smiling warmly. Dr. McNeil watches proudly from the steps. The mountains stand tall, timeless and eternal. Christy's voice narrates, "In these hills, I found not just a school but a home." The screen fades into golden sunlight. Post-credit tease, a railroad man whispers to his boss. They think they've won, but will return. In Cutter Gap, Christy kneels in prayer at the mission. She whispers, "Oh, whatever comes, we'll face it together." The bell tolls faintly in the distance, though we in the distance. Text appears, Christy's journey continues.